YouTube, it's your boy Jay, man. We're reacting to name dropping in the SA lawsuit of Diddy. You know, I'm blind reacting to this, bro, because I know some details, I know some allegations, but we don't know the paperwork.
I think we're about to see something on the level of Epstein, Weinstein to the power of 10.
From members of the royal family to Grammy and Academy Award winners, we're breaking down all the A-list celebrities named in court docs against P. Diddy, along with some startling accusations.
I mean, first of all, that entire filing was just gasp-worthy. I'm not seeing a scenario where he can escape liability, criminal liability.
He's been known for years as a renowned rapper, producer, and label executive.
Man, listen, let's get to the stuff, bro. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
The feds are doing raids at 3 different homes of P. Diddy, including his homes in California, in Florida, and in New York. And what I think they're looking for are videos. So basically, P. Diddy had a habit, allegedly, based on told to us through the filings by Cassie Ventura. They have all said that he had a habit of liking to video either him abusing other people or forcing other people to abuse each other for his pleasure, and would record all of that. So I think those are some of the things that the feds are looking for. I think they're looking for other types of evidence to corroborate the statements that were made by Lil Rod, by Cassie Ventura, and the other people have come forward saying that he did abuse them. So they're looking.
Lil Rod ain't playing no games with these people, bro. I don't know why. All of a sudden he want to speak up, or people do be traumatized or even be scared. And in a case like this, bro, I believe he's scared of Diddy, bro. Majority of people have different stories of being scared or don't go against Diddy, but that's crazy, bro.
Corroborating evidence and basically the building blocks to put together what will end up being a massive criminal case.
So far, Diddy hasn't been arrested, but he has already faced his fair share of legal issues. Last year, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, who you probably know as singer Cassie, accused him of sex trafficking and sexual slavery. She alleged that Diddy raped her and beat her so severely that she was bruised. Cassie also alleged Diddy made her have sex with prostitutes and recorded it on video. She also says he forced her to carry a gun.
That man is a freaking man, boy. You like to watch? Come on, dog.
Sued him under New York's Adult Survivors Act and settled with Diddy outside of court just 1 day after the suit was filed. Joy Dickerson-Neal also filed suit against Diddy under the Adult Survivors Act, accusing him of drugging and sexually assaulting her back in 1991 when she was a college student at Syracuse University. Diddy was slammed with yet another lawsuit last month, this time brought on by music producer Rodney Jones, also known as Lil Rod. The 73-page lawsuit lays out dozens of allegations against Diddy, including that he forced Lil Rod to hire prostitutes and have sex with them. The court doc also claims Diddy himself assaulted Lil Rod, but that's not the only bombshell allegations revealed in the detailed documents. Lil Rod doesn't shy away from publicly naming other celebrities he says assaulted him.
I don't know that Kuba Gooding Jr. is going to escape from that one.
Let's start with the allegations against Academy Award-winning actor Kuba Gooding Jr. Lil Rod alleges Diddy was, quote, grooming him to pass him off to his friends. This fear became reality when Mr. Combs introduced Mr. Jones to Kuba Gooding Jr. when they were on Mr. Combs' yacht.
I ain't gonna lie. It's crazy when he, promoted not being into that Hollywood lifestyle anymore. All of a sudden it got lawsuits and, different type of allegations going against him as well. But, not giving him an excuse or saying he's innocent, but if you did the crime, most definitely give him the time. So hey man, that's on them if they're gonna put themselves in that spaces of that satanic lifestyle. And if you know, but Hey, bro, if that's what you want, that's what you want.
Photos of their interaction together too, which are laid out in those court documents. In the first pic, you see Diddy and Kuba talking with Diddy's arms on Kuba's. In the next pic, Kuba has his arm around Lil Rod and is smirking. Court docs go on to state, quote, Kuba Gooding Jr. began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones's legs, his inner thighs near his groin, the small of his back near his buttocks, and his shoulders. He rejected his advances, and Mr. Gooding Jr. did not stop until Mr. Jones forcibly pushed him away.
In the last couple of years, there were allegations against him for sexual assault. So now we had those prior allegations, and now we see him tied to this case as allegedly trying to, assault a little lad, assault others.
Back in 2019, Kuba was booked on misdemeanor charges of forcible touching and sexual abuse after he allegedly groped a woman in Times Square. By the next year, 3 women had come forward accusing him of non-consensual sexual touching. He eventually reached a deal with prosecutors that required 6 months of counseling but no jail time.
Getting the feeling where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Because now we have 2 different instances where you're accused of the same type of behavior, years apart. I think there's something there. And I don't know that Kuba Gooding Jr. is going to escape from that one, because he already saw definitely people moving away from him within Hollywood circles and other circles once those first sexual assault allegations came out. So at this point, I don't think he's going to get away with it a second time.
Is it possible that he could face charges based on these allegations that were brought forward by Lil Rod?
It is possible as well. Again, we've got the statute of limitations issue to deal with. So depending on the time frame of when this happened is, again, the Adult Survivors Act, which was the vehicle where many lawsuits came out, when these civil suits came out, there was a finite amount of time for those suits to be filed. The time frame is going to be very, very important. What witnesses come forward, because again, this may not be a situation where DNA may be at play. This may be more of a situation of, hey, yes, I was there and I recall, Kuba Gooding Jr., putting his hands on Little Rod, or I recall certain aspects. So it's going to be a very witness-intensive type of case. And the question is, will the witnesses be willing to come forward?
Lil Rod's lawsuit also publicly named another celebrity linked to Diddy, Jennifer Lopez.
From the standpoint of the names of the celebrities that were tied to this, the fact that Jennifer Lopez was tied to this back when she was involved in or party to a shooting at a nightclub when she was dating Diddy, and is now alleged to have brought the gun with her to the scene and gave it to Diddy, and that's how the shooting occurred.
Lil Rod's team brings up J-Lo when establishing Diddy's history, writing his, quote, RICO enterprise has existed for at least 20 years, dating back to the 1999 nightclub shooting in NYC, when Mr. Combs required his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez to transport his illegal firearm into the NYC nightclub. The court docs allege Diddy forced his then-artist Shine to assume responsibility for the shooting of several individuals. All this happened back on December 27, 1999, when a fight broke out at a nightclub. Diddy, J-Lo, and rapper Shine were all there, and according to former rapper Mark Curry, Diddy paid Shine $1 million to take the fall for the shooting and serve a 10-year prison sentence. Lil Rod's lawsuit now suggests it was J-Lo who brought the gun. The fact that she's named as somebody who was carrying a weapon, could that be incriminating for Jennifer?
So you telling me she done bought the stick in the club and oh man, she said she riding it down, bro.
But with a huge caveat, right? If I'm not mistaken, that shooting did not result in a death. I know that somebody was harmed, but I don't believe anyone was killed. Because of that, you had the statute of limitations to deal with, which is basically a prolonged amount of a certain amount of time that a prosecutor has to be able to bring charges against someone. And it varies from state to state. But the one thing is consistent is that there is no statute of limitations on murder. So if P. Diddy had actually person, or the person died as a result of their injuries, now Lo could be brought into the mix as a co-defendant because of the fact that the person has passed away. But if the person is alive and maybe they had serious injuries or whatever the case may be, statute of limitations would run, and it is highly likely at this juncture that statute of limitations have expired, therefore she does not have any criminal liability. But the reputational damage might be a different story, because now she's branding herself as something very different than who she was back then. Back then, she was very much Jenny from the block. She was, dating a variety of hip hop artists. She was very much in that world. Now she's married to Ben Affleck. She's trying to, portray herself in a different manner. So now her past is going to come back to haunt her, and we don't know what that's going to mean for her future in terms of movie deals, music deals, or anything like that. So
that's why I say your past always matter, bro. If you sell your soul for riches and fame, and you stop doing what they want you to do, hey man, they're gonna take it away. And not only that, I don't want you to speak up against me. So now I gotta pull you away for good.
For her, it might be more reputational damage than criminal liability.
Pearson says it's possible Jennifer Lopez could file some sort of defamation suit, but it's not likely.
She could, but at the end of the day, when it comes to defamation and those types of cases, truth is an absolute defense. So if he has some sort of receipts to basically prove that, hey, I was right there, I saw her the same way in the filings, you saw a number of different screenshots and pictures that he submitted to support the different points that he was making. If he has some pictures to substantiate that she was carrying the gun, it is going to be very hard for her to say in good conscience in a court of law that, this wasn't true, he's made this up, and now as a result, I've lost, money, I've lost opportunities and things like that. There's going to be too much evidence out there connecting her to this that is going to be very hard for a jury to come back and say, yeah, he's making all of this up.
But it's not just artists that Lil Rod named either. He specifically mentioned Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, in his court documents. It reads in part, quote, Mr. Combs was known for throwing the best parties. Affiliation with and or sponsorship of Mr. Combs' sex trafficking parties garnered legitimacy and access to political figures, artists, musicians, and international dignitaries like British Royal Prince Harry. Why even name Prince Harry? There's no allegations against him or anything, but why bring him up?
I think it may have been a move to bring more credibility to the filing and say that, basically he being Diddy, was using his fame, fortune, and influence to insulate himself. So he was able to legitimize some of the activities he was doing by having these lavish parties, bringing all these A-list celebrities, but somewhere in a back room or somewhere in another wing, horrible things were happening. So the fact that Prince Harry was there does not necessarily mean he was participating in what was happening. And just because you were at a party doesn't mean you know what's happening in every inch of the house. I mean, if you think about it, if the party's being thrown in a mansion, there are various floors and wings. So it is completely possible that he was there and did not participate. Now,
no, I disagree, because ain't no way. We already know before you even get to the parties, before you get to the fame, before you get to seeing things, you gotta take that oath, and then you proceed to all that stuff. So I disagree with that, because you're not gonna be in a party with no phones, with no type of evidence, no type of proof. You're not gonna be entering that party or even know what about a party if you're not partaking in some of the things that's at the party. You might not be too in deep into it, but you're gonna know what the area is and what everybody's doing. What is everybody's? We already know. We not dumb, bro. This is the most that ever been revealed, bro. You gonna see something.
You had said Prince Andrew, especially as a result of the allegations that came out in connection with the Epstein case, that they were close and that they traveled together. And, there was a person that alleged that he had sexually assaulted her while she was underage. That would be a different story. But Prince Harry and the way that it was mentioned seemed to be very, again, just sort of trying to bring legitimacy and talk about these were the people that Diddy surrounded himself by to protect himself.
So Prince Harry has no formal accusations against him, but the name association could cause damage to his reputation. Even so, Pearson says it's not likely he files any sort of defamation suit.
It's possible that Prince Harry may be able to preserve his reputation. But again, just in light of everything him and the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, have been through, I truly really hope that, he's able to completely distance himself, maybe make a statement, because again, since he is not necessarily under the umbrella of the royal family directly, so in other words, Buckingham Palace would not be releasing a statement on his behalf. It would be him releasing a statement and saying, yes, I went to X party, but no, I never engaged in any inappropriate behavior or other details that he may see fit to share. So that's going to be, we're going to have to wait and see on that one. But again, since it was such a minuscule mention in the greater context of this filing, he may be okay.
Pearson compares Prince Harry's association with that of President Bill Clinton, who'd been seen with Jeffrey Epstein before his arrest.
And there didn't seem to be much said around him actually engaging in activities, more that he was present at the parties. So I don't recall seeing a lot of fallout on the part of President Clinton from that association.
Speaking of Epstein, Lil Rod docs draw a parallel between Diddy's alleged crimes and Jeffrey Epstein's. Epstein died by suicide back in 2019 when he faced numerous charges of sexual assault over the course of multiple years. His longtime companion, Ghislaine Maxwell, was charged and found guilty of sex trafficking in relation to her time with Epstein. She's currently serving out a lengthy prison sentence. Lil Rod compares Diddy's
I'm telling y'all, bro, this lifestyle ain't what it seemed to be, bro. Either he was hiding something or, you know what I'm saying,
Chief of Staff Christina Cahorum to Ghislaine Maxwell, saying she ordered sex workers and prostitutes for Mr. Combs and ordered and distributed ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms to Mr. Combs and his celebrity guests who were present on his rented yacht and in his homes in LA, NYC, and Miami.
Under these cases, when you have these high-profile people that have been using people over years, none of these cases happen without a handler. R. Kelly had a handler, Epstein had a handler, Weinstein had a handler. Everybody has, in those scenarios of those powerful people, powerful men that are...
A handler is pretty much like a higher-up person that tells you and control what you do, like what you wear. And it was one of these ladies. I can probably find her and like insert the picture somewhere. But she's one of those higher up cults, and she's with like the Marilyn Monroe's, the open worshiper of the satanic cult and stuff like that. And she's one of those type of women. She's seen with the Migos. She's seen with all these celebs, bro. And like with A$AP Rocky and stuff like that. She's seen with all these numerous of celebrities. So imagine one of those handlers you see them with, and they're secretly hiding themselves within these people. You don't see them. These are the billionaires, the millionaires. You know what I'm saying? These are the people that's paying them. These are the people that's getting the real money from the music, not the rappers. I'm talking about higher than the rappers. They're fashion designers. These are the people, are the handlers, and the people that are actually doing those satanic worship and rituals and stuff like that. Those are what handlers are. For those who don't know or who's really don't know that much information about it.
Abusing other people, they have someone that does their dirty work. And it's usually not only just one person, it's several people who may have different duties. So again, seeing this woman being his handler, being the person to get him drugs, being the person to procure sex workers for him, being the person to basically be on cleanup duty in case of, covering up or silencing people that might want to come forward, that's not unusual. And she is also going to bear the brunt of criminal liability, just like Ghislaine Maxwell did, and basically had to take the entire brunt of the criminal justice system alone because of the fact that, Epstein committed suicide and was not able to be held accountable. And
according to Pearson, Diddy and many of his associates will likely face federal charges, but it's not totally clear when. And what do you think a timetable would look like for all of that? I know that there's a lot of evidence to gather over many years, but is it possible that a federal indictment could be just around the corner?
I would hesitate to say just around the corner, because with all of the experience I've had with his office approaches cases, they do not move until they have you fully, like they have you dead to rights, basically. So they are going to take their time. They're going to collect all the evidence. They're going to speak to as many witnesses as they can. They're going to follow every single trail, every single lead that they can before they go to an indictment. There can be continuances. There can be other things that can delay the case. But once you file that charging document, the clock starts ticking. So that, when I was a prosecutor, I always advised my detectives, anybody that I was training, that you get all the evidence you can up front, and then you file charges.
So when is it possible that we would actually see him being arrested or faced?
I do believe either whatever they asking from him, either he gives that up and he can avoid all of this right here, or he can fight them and he's going to get arrested and he's going to get indicted and stuff like that. But they got probable cause. And I believe Candace Owens did a recent interview maybe yesterday, like that night, and they edited and posted this morning or something like that. But she was saying, I don't think they were coming for him. They were trying to hide it and put all the evidence inside that house. So they're planting evidence. I'm like, I guess it's all alleged, bro. We all gonna have to see what's up. But at the end of the day, bro, they got probable cause.
These indictments, could it be months down the line?
I feel that it would be months down the line. I would not be surprised if it was before the end of this year. Because again, this is going to be a massive investigation involving at least 3 states, much as we saw in the Epstein case, where he was bringing underage girls to one of his islands in the Caribbean. And there have been some allegations of things happening on planes, things happening on trips. So there may be additional locations that may need to be searched and additional witnesses that may need to be spoken to in order to get a full picture for what charges would be appropriate and what would be the best path forward with this case.
And it's possible Diddy serves a lengthy prison sentence for all this if he were to be convicted in criminal court. If this does happen, that P. Diddy is indicted. I know in R. Kelly, we saw quite a large sentence for him. What could P. Diddy be facing if he is convicted of eventual indictments?
Yeah, well, it all depends on what charges are brought and how many counts of each charge is brought, right? Because for each charge is usually one victim or survivor attached to that charge. So if the U.S. Attorney's Office is able to pull together 15 survivors, right, and they're willing to come forward and testify, you may see 15 counts. So the question will be, if he's convicted, will all those counts run concurrently, meaning at the same time, or would they all be consecutive? And if it's consecutive, he could be looking at life plus, right? If they're run concurrently, again, depending on the universe of what is charged, he's going to be looking at a prison sentence if convicted.
A whole life away. You built this type of lifestyle, became this type of dude, and you want to do some weird stuff like that, man. I hope he get indicted too. I hope he do. Nobody thinks he's innocent.
There's going to be no way around that.
Is there any possibility that he walks away clean from this, that everything is dropped and he faces no charges or any prison time?
Not impossible. I mean, anything is possible, but I don't see that happening. I see him kind of going the path of R. Kelly, where again, for so many decades, he was able to act with impunity and just, with harming so many, young women. But eventually he had to pay the piper. And eventually he ended up with a prison sentence. So that in this juncture, from what's been publicly available, from reading Little Rod's filing, from reading and hearing about the horrible things that Cassie Ventura endured during her nearly a decade relationship with him that started when she was a young woman, I'm not seeing a scenario where he can escape liability, criminal liability. I'm just not seeing it. It's possible, but I'm not seeing it.
In his statement, Diddy's attorney Sean Hawley denies all of Lil Rod's allegations. He writes, quote, "His reckless name-dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines. We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies." Diddy's son Justin Combs is also mentioned in the lawsuit. A statement released from him reads in part, quote, "Justin Combs categorically denies these absurd allegations. They are all lies. This is a clear example of a desperate person taking desperate measures in hopes of a payday. There will be legal consequences for all defamatory statements made about the Combs family." So far, we have not heard a comment from Kuba Gooding Jr., and as of now, P. Diddy has not been arrested and does not face any criminal charges. Reporting for Law and Crime,
what y'all think in the comments though, bro? Oh, I clicked it by accident. What y'all think in the comments, bro? Like, y'all think he did it, bro? Y'all think he hiding something? I think the elites, if you know, you know. If you don't know, then we're not gonna talk about it. But I think the elites want something from him because he's a billionaire. Once you make a certain type of money and you reach all this and you reach all that, bro, they return in their investment, bro. They gave you the life. They gave you what you wanted. So now it's time for you to give me what I want. You got to give me this. You got to give me that, bro. But what y'all think, bro? At the end of the day, bro, it really doesn't matter what we think. It's just going to sit back and watch this unravel, bro. But I honestly think he did it, of course. Lock him up. Of course, we all know. It's all alleged, but we all know, bro. Too many people got too many stories and this and that, but what if it's deeper than this, you know? Like, why y'all want to put a lawsuit on him now? And, like, why everyone wants to, you know? I think it's something up. I think the jig is up. They already said he got hidden cameras in his mansion parties, and he got the tapes, and he's corrupted. I think he was planning on a snitching or something, so they got to take him out before they take, you know, everybody else out, you know? You going to snitch on me, I'm going to snitch on you. So I think he already sold, what is that, Revolt? He already just sold that. So what if that's what they really wanted? What if that's what they wanted to an unknown, it was somebody unknown he sold it to. So what if that's what he wanted? He's like, no. He's like, well, if you don't, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, da-da-da-da. And he threw their bluff. So now they got the lawsuits. And now we got Lil Rod telling on everybody. You know what I'm saying? But for the people that were victims to this, you know what I'm saying? Or didn't know that type of lifestyle they were going to really sign up for, you know. Of course, I want y'all to snitch and be happy and deal with y'all traumas and the people that did you wrong. But at the end of the day, bro, for fame and fortune, it does come with a price if you want to be a billionaire, millionaire, bro. I'm Jay, and I'm gone.